Welcome back to another episode of Friday Night Frights. I am your host, Count Vampire. As per tradition, we will be continuing to read from Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark by Alvin Schwartz and Stephen Gamel. Yes. Last week, we kicked off season 8. Yes, I said it was even season 6. And I said it was a count that couldn't count. So I've been demoted to a lord until I learned how to count. So I am your host, Lord Vampire, until next week, I guess. Then I get my countship back. I don't know. You have to talk to the Vampire Council about that. Okay, so start off. The story is called The Guests. A young man and his wife were on a trip to visit his mother. Usually they arrived in time for supper, but they had gotten a late start, and now it was getting dark. So they decided to look for a place to stay overnight and to go on in the morning. Just off the road, they saw a small house in the woods. Maybe they rent rooms, the wife said, so they stopped to ask. An elderly man and woman came to the door. They didn't rent rooms, they said, but they would be glad to have them stay overnight as their guests. They had plenty of room, and they would enjoy the company as they rifled through their luggage. No, just kidding. The old woman made coffee and brought out some cake, and the four of them talked for a while. Then the young couple were taken to their room. They again explained that they wanted to pay for this, but the old man said he would not accept any money. The young couple got up early the next morning before the host had awakened, because they were vampires. And on the table near the front door, they left an envelope with some money in it for the room, and they went on to the next town. They stopped at a restaurant and had breakfast. Then they told the owner where they had stayed. He was shocked. That couldn't be, he said. That house burnt to the ground, and the man and woman who lived there died in the fire. The young couple could not believe so. So they went back to the house. Now there was no house. All they found was a burned out shell. And they stood staring at the ruins, trying to understand what had happened. Then the woman screamed. In the rubble, they saw a badly burned table, like the one they had seen by the front door. On the table was the envelope they had left that morning. He pictured the burned out house. I wonder if they kept the envelope, or if they left it there for the ghosts. Let's see here. Here is one. The girl who stood on the grave, which you shouldn't do. It's not very nice. Some boys and girls were at the party one night, and there was a graveyard down the street. And there, they were talking about how scary it was. Don't ever stand on the grave after dark, one of the boys said. The person inside will grab you, and he'll pull you under. This I could attest to because I've done it. That's not true, one of the girls said. It's just a superstition. No, it isn't. I'll give you $1 if you'll stand on the grave, said the boy. A grave doesn't scare me, said the girl. I'll do it right now. The boy handed her his knife. Stick this knife in one of the graves, he said. Then we'll know that you were there. The graveyard was filled with shadows and was quiet as death. Of course, it's as quiet as death. That's all that resides there, except for me. And if you are my friends, there is nothing to be scared of, the girl told herself. But she was scared anyway. She picked out a grave and stood on it, then quickly bent over and plunged the knife into the soil. When she started to leave, she couldn't get away. Something was holding her back. She tried a second time to leave, and she couldn't move. She was filled with terror. Something has got me, she screamed, and she fell to the ground. When she didn't come back, the others went to look for her. They found her body sprawled across the grave. Without realizing it, she had plunged the knife through her skirt and had pinned it to the ground. And it was only the knife that had her. She had died of fright. I think that would scare a lot of people to death, too. Yes. This one's called A New Horse. Two farmhands shared a room. One slept at the back of the room. The other slept near the door. Well, after a while, one who slept near the door began to feel very tired earlier in the day. His friend asked what was wrong. An awful thing happened every night, he said. A witch turns me into a horse and rides me all over the countryside. I'll sleep in your bed tonight, said his friend. We'll see what happens to me. After midnight, an old woman who lived nearby came into the room. She mumbled some strange words over the farmhand and he found that he couldn't move. Then she slipped the bridle over him and turned him into a horse. Next thing he knew, she was riding him across the fields at breakneck speed, beating him to make him go even faster. Soon they came to a house where a party was going on. There was a lot of music and dancing and Bud Light and popcorn and chips and all kinds of good stuff going on at that party. And they were having a big time inside. See, she hitched him to a fence and went in because she was the designated horse driver that night because she wasn't going to be having no Bud Light. While she was gone, the farmhand rubbed against the fence until the bridle came off. And he turned back into a human being. You know, it's better than a human doing, I guess. When he went into the house, he found the witch, and he spoke those strange words over her. And with the bridle, he turned her into a horse. And then he rode her to a blacksmith and had her fitted with horseshoes. And after that, he rode her to the farm where she lived. I have a pretty good filly here, he told her husband, but I need a stronger horse. Would you like to trade? The old man looked her over and he said he would do so. So they picked out another horse and the farmhand rode away. Her husband led the horse to the barn and he took off the bridle and went and hung it up. When he came to the back, the new horse was gone. Instead stood his wife. Well, I guess the horse turned into a jackass. And the horseshoes nailed to her hands and feet. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, that be end of the stories for now. I hope you enjoyed them with old Vampire. You know, Vampire certainly enjoys telling these stories and sharing them with all of you. These are certainly enjoyable stories to share because I like sharing them with you. and you like to hear them, because I like to tell them, because you like to hear them. All right? Okay, you got that. So, anyway, thank you so very much for making this such a splendid time for me and for this channel, making it a wonderful tradition. And you guys have a fun and safe Friday night, with it particularly being Friday the 13th. Yes. So watch out for a guy with hockey mask going. Okay, watch out for that guy. His name is Jason. Okay, just say old vampire says, stay away, Jason, afraid of vampire. Okay, just show him some water, he'll run away. He don't like the water. So you go around water, he be nowhere around, okay? So that's why vampires stay in Arizona, because there's no water around, so there's no Jasons. Okay, anyway, you guys, you take care. Have a fun, safe day. Go to haunted house, have fun, some caramel popcorn and stuff like that. Okay, have a good night. Be safe. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to everybody. Be kind to your little puppies and your kitties. Be kind to everyone. We'll see you next week for another episode of Friday Night Frights. Okay, bye.